we are going to talk about the Van Cleef controversy. I didn't even know much about this, to be honest. People messaged me on Instagram talking about it, and some people asked me to talk about it via the stream. So here we are talking about the Van Cleef shebang on the stream. So, quick summary, we're going to watch the content creator that had the viral video, but essentially she bought a jewelry piece from Van Cleef and Arpels, and the gold was tarnished very quickly, to which she complained about it, of course, had an issue with it, went to Van Cleef to ask them if they could like fix it. They supposedly fixed it. It wasn't perfectly fixed. So at that point, it left a bad taste in her mouth because it still had the tarnish on it. At which point they offered a refund after she talked about it on social media and it became viral. So they offered her a refund. And then there's more to the story, which we'll get to, that I thought was absolutely ridiculous, but we shall get to it. So we're going to watch everything from her actually talking about buying the piece, to her buying the piece, to her being gaslighted by Van Cleef and Arpels, and then the fallout that happened as a result of Van Cleef's horrific customer service. So let's watch together, guys.
Is finally the day we're picking up my Van Cleef bracelet. I ordered this bracelet back in April, so it took a total of 5 months to get. Love my sales associate, Justine. She's honestly the best. She poured me a glass of champagne and she brought out my bracelet. I was literally stopped in my tracks. Like, this bracelet is even more gorgeous in person. I didn't get to see how it was going to look like on my wrist because they didn't have any at the store location. So I actually had to purchase this and then they shipped it over and I got to try it on. Thank God it was super shiny. It was beautiful, but it was too big on my small wrist. So my wrists are a size 14 centimeters. The smallest that Van Cleef resizes is 16 centimeters. Since I'm stacking my bracelets, I want my bracelet to be tighter, so I went with 16 centimeters instead of the 17 that I tried on. Yes. De-influence you and tell you not to purchase anything from Van Cleef. So I purchased this 5 motif bracelet, and within 2 months, it started rusting and tarnishing to this right here. Mind you, this is an 18 karat yellow gold. It should not be tarnishing. So they cleaned it 2 times with the ultrasonic jewelry cleaner in store, and then they shipped it off to New York City to get it professionally polished. I received it back yesterday from getting professionally polished. When I voiced my concern that I could still see the tarnish, the manager of the store had the audacity to make me feel as if I'm blind.
That tarnish is so obvious that, like, what? Look at how bad and obvious and apparent it looks. That looks atrocious. First of all, my understanding is that this doesn't happen very frequently to their pieces. So this is, of course, probably like a one-off incident. However, if you're charging that much for jewelry, first of all, your jewelry shouldn't be tarnishing like that, first of all. Second of all, if it does tarnish, just offer them a new one. Don't say that you're going to polish it, knowing fully well that you can't polish it away and stuff. Just take that one in and give them a new one. That's what you should have done. Saying that you've tarnished it and gaslighting someone when someone can clearly see how obvious the tarnishing is just insane. It's like questioning your intelligence.
He was gaslighting me to the point where I honestly wanted to cry. And the crazy thing is that the male associate told me that he could still see the tarnishing, but she was actually gaslighting him too and making him feel uncomfortable.
So if you're looking here, you're actually to your skin. Because I mean, look from here. There's no discoloration. So when you're holding your
what she tried to say she tried to say it's the reflection of your skin. If you look at it from this angle, you'll realize that it's actually the reflection from the light. It's actually not that you can't see the tarnishing from this angle.
Your loop and you're looking here, that's your finger reflection.
It's actually, this woman is ridiculous. She said if you look from here, it's actually your finger. If you look from this angle, it's actually your finger.
I don't see it, but if you guys...
It's not as obvious now.
Yeah.
Oh no, she successfully gaslighted the sales associate. Now he's like, it's not as obvious. No, use your eyes. Your eyes are there for a reason. Use them.
It's like a mirror.
No, I need to run that back. That gaslighting was iconic.
And it's your skin. Because I mean, look from here.
She said it's your skin. That's crazy.
Making him feel uncomfortable.
So if you're looking here, you're actually to your skin. Because I mean, look from here. There's no discoloration. So when you're holding your loop and you're looking here, that's your finger reflection in it. I don't see it, but if you guys...
It's not as obvious now.
Yeah, because I mean, when you're looking at it, it's like a reflect. It's like
Oh my god, DD Style said, my coworker bought a fine jewelry gold ring that turned her finger green, and Louis Vuitton told her it was her body's pH. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is insane. These brands are actually out of line. They are completely and utterly out of line.
a mirror.
You could tell that she was higher up and she had more authority, and he was scared to voice his concern. He's over there looking at it, and she's telling him that he's looking at his shadow. And I feel like that's what like started annoying me even more, because it's like, we both see it, you're just trying to pretend that you do not see it. I was taking a picture in front of her, zooming in to show it to her. She would still say that she cannot see it. So what I did was I sent it to my friends and asked them if they could see the tarnishing of the bracelet. So that's when I told her, like, my friends can even see it. My husband that's in store with me also says that he could see it. And she had the audacity to ask me if my friends are here in person in store. And clearly they're not here. And so I'm even shocked that she even would ask me if my friends are here. Like, what kind of rude question is that? So the manager gave me two options. Either I pay $180 for me to ship this bracelet back to New York City to get it.
First mistake there. So many things have gone wrong already. Too many things have gone wrong. First of all, you have the person that works there gaslighting the sales assistant and the customer into thinking that the tarnishing isn't there when it's so clearly there. Then, not only that, you are literally telling this person that they have to pay $180 to ship an item that they bought with their hard-earned money that's faulty. If you're a brand owner, once a customer has an issue, you're supposed to be scrambling to fix the issue. The last thing you should be doing is, by the way, spend more money to send it to us since we didn't polish it or fix it the first time. Spend more money so that we can fix it. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in my entire life. That is horrific customer service. That is so bad. And this is what I mean by a lot of these, luxury brands, they get too big for their boots. They honestly think that they're above everything and that people should be begging them to buy their goods. So silly. It's so silly.
Get it professionally polished, which why would I do that? Because it just came back professionally polished and it looks like this. Or the second option was I could pay out of pocket to get this motif replaced. Clearly it's something wrong with the jewelry. Like, what is going on with the metal? Is this gold or is this something else? Because my gold pieces that I have from Cartier.
So both options, that she has to pay for them. So I'm going to play it back, but she said it's either she sends it to them or wait, let me go back.
Could pay out of pocket $80 for me to ship this bracelet back to New York City. She even would ask me if my friends are here. Like, what kind of rude question is that? So the manager gave me two options. Either I pay $180 for me to ship this bracelet back to New York City to get it professionally polished, which why would I do that? Because it just came back professionally polished and it looks like this. Or the second option was I could pay out of pocket to get this motif replaced. Clearly it's something wrong.
So both ways, she has to pay out of pocket to get it fixed. Either way, it's either she gets the whole part replaced, or it's either that or she sends it to get it polished again, which doesn't make sense because it came back polished and there was no difference. That is absolutely insane. Something that really shocks me about this whole story, other than the absolutely atrocious customer service across the board from beginning to end, is the fact that if she did not have an audience on TikTok, or if this video didn't go viral, like this video, I don't know exactly how many views it got, but just based off the fact it has 804.5k likes is insane. Let me go on her TikTok page and see how many views it's got. But the only reason why, and you guys will see eventually, they had to give in and, try and do something is because it went completely viral. So if the video didn't go viral, right, they would have just left her to her own devices. They literally would. Okay, it has millions of views. She has multiple videos on this topic with millions of views. So that's why it, it was on their radar. But it's absolutely insane. 10 million views, 10.3 million views right now. Absolutely insane. So insane. And this is why, guys, I'm not the biggest fan of luxury brands. I don't really buy luxury brands often because this is what happens. They honestly think that they're above the law. It's like crazy, this kind of customer service. She gets the privilege to pay twice. The sales assistant and the client should unite against the evil company. Facts, though. And let's read some of the comments. Before I continue watching, let's read some of the comments. The first comment, I'm going to like that. My dupe doesn't even tarnish. Okay, they asked me to sign in. I'm not signing in. But real gold never tarnishes. This clearly isn't gold. Go get the metal tested. And if it's not 18 karat, sue. My 18 karat Van Cleef deep bracelet and necklace from Lebanon could 18 karat gold is not supposed to tarnish. Long live our 21k Arab gold. Go back and tell her that more than 100k people can see it. Now it's 10.3 million people can see the tarnish. But that was crazy. That gaslighting was actually insane. It's like, if you look at it from a different angle, you actually notice that it's the reflection from your skin, because when you look at it from here and you see your finger is actually why it looks tarnished. I think if you look at it from there, that's why. I go, what? What are you talking about?
Wrong with the jewelry? Like, what is going on with the metal? This is gold or is this something else? Because my gold pieces that I have from Cartier, they never tarnished, they never faded or looked coppery. And I had this on for over 5 years. They do not stand behind their pieces. They will not fix their products, even if it starts tarnishing within 2 months. And for it to be Van Cleef, which is a huge luxury store, I just expected a lot more better customer service, a lot better craftsmanship than this. It still came back looking tarnished. And also, the manager just making me feel like I couldn't see it made it even worse. Like, that just topped it off. And I have a question for you. If this happened to you and if this was your bracelet and you had those two options, either pay to get it polished or pay to replace the motif, what would you do? Let me de-influence you and tell you not to purchase anything from Van Cleef.
Okay, let's look at the updated video, because we're going through her playlist.
Part 2 of the Van Cleef bracelet purchase. I called customer service yesterday just to let them know that this bracelet is still tarnished, even after I got it cleaned 2 times with the ultrasonic jewelry cleaner. We also sent this to the Van Cleef boutique, and you guys still sent this back to me, still tarnished. And what the lady on the phone said, the customer service agent.
What I want to know is it the people that work at Van Cleef, are they blind? Can they not see that it's so clear? Like, the tarnish is so obvious. Are they just like categorically blind? Is that what it is?
Said is that there is no warranty on these bracelets or any jewelry pieces besides watches. So if this were to tarnish, if this were to fade or rust after the 30-day window, you can't return it. She basically told me that it's all up to the boutique and what they want to do, which I already know what they want to do. Kathy told me that, I only had those 2 options. Either I pay to send it back to New York City to get it repolished again, that'll cost me $180, or I have to pay to change this motif. And if you know that these motifs are expensive.
So we still got some more terrible customer service. They're still making her pay. I'm gonna be so honest with you guys. If I spend $6,000 on any piece of jewelry, if that jewelry tarnishes in the first 2 months, that person that made it has 2 options. I'm not joking. It's either I get my money back or you give me a new one. That I'm not trying to hear any other thing. I don't care about a 30-day policy means that blah, 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 blah. I'm not listening to any of that. Like, that is insane. And the constant gaslighting, they need to train the staff on exactly how to do customer service, because clearly none of them have a clue.
Expensive, and I shouldn't be paying for it even after 2 months of it starting to tarnish. If I knew that it was going to tarnish, I would not have purchased this. This just left such a bitter taste in my mouth, Van Cleef in general, because I thought that this was a luxury store. I thought that they had better customer service, better exceptional pieces that they made, and I thought that they stand behind their pieces. Each and every piece should not tarnish, and if it does tarnish, they should want to fix it for you, right? Like, as a brand, like, if there's something wrong, I would be like, let me help you fix it. No, they don't even want to help me fix it. The manager at the store is making like there's nothing wrong with this piece.
There's no discoloration. That's your finger reflection in it.
And by the way, I was being very patient with Van Cleef. I feel like I literally was waiting 4 months for them to help me try to fix this. And now that it came back from the boutique, being professionally polished, now that it came back and now they're telling me that there's nothing wrong with it and how like she can't see it, now I feel like I have to speak up about it. Why is my Van Cleef bracelet still tarnished? Like, Van Cleef, you're like a huge luxury brand and you should stand behind all your pieces. If it tarnishes, you should fix it.
Exactly what someone is saying in the chat. They're losing millions for refusing to replace 6k, actually 1k, if not less. Exactly, because the raw materials it would actually cost them for them to just replace it, as a cost to them, max 1k would have cost them to replace it, if not less. So they were willing to lose hundreds of thousands, tarnish their reputation, have people not want to buy from the brand, just because they tried every excuse in the book not to replace the bracelet. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my life. And the thing is, that's why I said all of the staff need to be put in a training center on, customer service. I think the reason why they behave this way is because they've probably been getting away with it. They've been getting away with it since, and no one had the platform to expose them the way that this is. Because altogether, with all the update videos, at least 100 million views on TikTok on just her page. Then there was all the reactions across TikTok and YouTube. So in total, there's probably close to 100 million views across Instagram, TikTok, probably way more than that, considering all the channels reacting to this, of just bad PR for Van Cleef. Like, that is all because you didn't want to replace the bracelet. How stupid is that? How dumb is that? Luxury brands should use this case as a case study for what happens when your customer service is bad.
There should be a warranty in place. But no, it's like, why don't you have warranty on these jewelry pieces? Like, that is like questionable for me. Like, why do you guys not stand behind your jewelry? If this is 18 karat real yellow gold, you should stand behind your pieces. If it does tarnish, you should fix it. Want to help me fix it. Part 2 of the Van Cleef bracelet purchase. I enjoyed my bracelet. Everybody at Van Cleef that day was so nice to me. Of course, they're trying to sell you a product. I got champagne, I got chocolates, I got sent into the back room.
Yep, we saw in the initial video, we saw the champagne, we saw them pampering you up, as the luxury brands like to do. I've never really, maybe I'm just a bit weird. I've never really cared for, like, when you go into a luxury store and they start offering you champagne and all that stuff, because how much is champagne how much is a glass of champagne compared to, like, the cost of what you're buying? So it's just like, whether they give me champagne or they give me some pastry, I can buy that myself. Like, just give me what I bought. Like, I don't really care about all that stuff.
But it wasn't until like 2 months in is when I noticed my bracelet starting to tarnish. And I feel like ever since then, my experience went downhill.
At this point, the condition it's in.
She really needs to actually get the gold tested. Because no gold on this planet should be tarnishing after 2 months. They should have tested it. I don't think she did, because I know they collected it from her, and we'll get to that eventually. But yeah, she should have tested it. If you would complain about a stain on a piece of luxury jewelry you just bought and it's not even there and you made it up, the staff should still replace your product, whether the stain is there or not. Customer service comes first. I imagine Hermes and Cartier customer service would be like that. Yeah, but this is even worse because, like you're saying, I agree. But not only are they not replacing it, they're gaslighting her into saying that the stain isn't even there. The tarnishing isn't even there when it's so clear. She literally said, it's so funny. She literally said, yeah, it's like the reflection of your skin. Like, it's your finger. That's the really funny part about the whole of it.
I don't think it's going to get in any better.
Because I didn't even, basically leave the store with it. And I'm like, what?
Did you put on perfume today?
No.
Hey, Venus is saying she got it tested. Did she? What were the results of the test? I'm really, really curious.
I didn't put on any perfume.
Lotion?
No, I have no lotion on me.
You didn't put anything on this, like, before you came here?
No.
But then the male associate, his name is Gordon, he was telling me that he doesn't advise me to send my bracelet back out for repolishing since it's gonna come back looking the same. And you can hear the manager of the store questioning me if I have lotions or perfumes on my wrist because it may be instantly tarnished, like, because of that.
That's dumb. Lotions, good quality gold. Lotions shouldn't just be able to tarnish your jewelry. That's dumb. A lot of jewelry, if it's designed by people with actual brain cells, is supposed to be resistant to a multitude of chemicals. That's why some people have been wearing their grandma's gold bracelet since they were a kid. They shower in it, they cook with it. You can even see on the side, someone commented something similar to what I'm saying. Like, we Arabs, our mothers wear gold in the same style as Van Cleef, but 21 karat. My mother cooks with it when the kitchen is hot, puts on perfume and lotion and sleeps in it, and nothing happened to it. They don't even know what gold is, and this confirms 100% that Van Cleef is not gold, but rather gold plated. Yeah, so this whole, check what lotions you have because it could what kind of jewelry are you selling?
I was at the store picking up my bracelet from being polished, and you think it's going to instantly tarnish because of lotion and perfume. Also, I had nothing on my wrist. She was just questioning me so much that like I was honestly scared. She tried everything under the books to try to make me feel bad, which I already felt bad even talking about. She tried to make me.
So Didi, to answer your question about, I thought refraining from lotion and perfume was to be avoided with fashion jewelry. So it depends. So if it's the level of Van Cleef and Arpels, lotion and perfume should be fine because they are supposed to be or supposedly selling like actual like real gold. The most luxury brands, like they have like more like show jewelry, which is like cheaply made. It's gold plated. It's gold plated brass, which is my favorite statement that I make on this channel. That stuff, yes, avoid using perfume or lotions. But Van Cleef is a bit different. Van Cleef is not cheaply made show jewelry, like that cheap, you know, like Chanel, that cheap Chanel stuff that they sell, like the show jewelry. Let me actually go on their website. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Van Cleef is not supposed to make jewelry like that at all, actually. So like, for example, this is Chanel's website. So Chanel has a fine jewelry line. So you can see here, these are like more of the Van Cleef prices. So in the fine jewelry line, you see like £4,630. These should not tarnish. They should not tarnish. You should be able to spray perfume and, you know, you should be able to wear lotion with these on. And if you can't, the designers, they need to rub their brain cells together. But Chanel also makes like cheaper jewelry, which is what they have all kinds of jewelry. They've got like high jewelry, fine jewelry. Let's see. Earrings. Let's go. So like, for example, these are, I can imagine the cheaper ones, like the clip-on stud earrings. So these are like silver. These are more, yeah, the show jewelry, the stuff that you see on the runaway shows and stuff. So they've got different levels of jewelry. So most brands have this. So Van Cleef is supposed to be an accessories brand. So they aren't supposed to be producing tarnishable metals. So it's a bit different. So it depends on the brand. Certain brands have like their cheaper lines, and yes, those lines you can't, you know, wear them in the shower, all those kind of things. But Van Cleef, especially this specific bracelet we're talking about, it should not be tarnishing.
Me feel terrible that I was even in her store talking about this bracelet from Van Cleef being tarnished. I'm spending so much money on a bracelet. I don't want my bracelet to look tarnished. And by the way, the Van Cleef bracelet that I have, I'm not using any harsh chemicals on it. I'm not spraying perfume or wearing lotion. Like my hands are so dry. I'm not using any lotion. Like, and I'm not too sure why it's only that Van Cleef bracelet that's getting tarnished because none of my other bracelets are tarnished. Like if you look at them, they're super
Because the Van Cleef bracelet is a bunch of baloney.
scratched up, but none of them are tarnished. So I'm not too sure what is in the Van Cleef bracelet, like what kind of metal is in there. Also, I haven't heard from Van Cleef either. Nobody reached out to me. I enjoyed my bracelet. Everybody
really shouldn't say what I think this is. If you don't know me, I'm John Paul. I've done fine jewelry manufacturing for well over 15 years for brands that you probably know like David Yurman. I've done contract work for Tiffany & Co. I know producing fine jewelry, and this is plating. This is the peeling effect that you get from a poor job of plating gold onto a substrate. Really shouldn't say what I think this is.
Which is hilarious because now you have experts saying that that looks like plating, but that's not what Van Cleef markets it as, right? Let me go on Van Cleef's website. One second. I swear they don't market it as gold plated. They just call it 18 karat yellow gold, no? That's how it's always been marketed with their bracelets. Let's have a look at their website. Let's have a look. Let's do some research. Okay. So, yeah, 18 karat gold. That's what they say. It doesn't say gold plating. So it's supposed to be purely 18 karat gold. Obviously, gold does have to be mixed with other metals sometimes to make it like last longer and stuff and not be as malleable. But that should not lead to tarnishing though. So yeah, what all they've said is 18 karat gold. So it should not be plated. And if there are any signs of it being plated, that's not, you know, it's not, yeah, it shouldn't happen. Yeah, 18 karat means 75% gold, which is still a lot. Yeah, like I said, because you have to mix it with other metals. It actually helps in the longevity of the piece. But it definitely shouldn't be gold plated. It shouldn't be gold plated at all. She got treated that way because she is a regular person. I hope she's okay. She was bullied. But is it real gold? So that guy also doesn't know what he's talking about. No, but it is real gold though. It's supposed to be real gold. So 18 karat yellow gold, my understanding, like people said, is 75%. It's mixed with other metals. So it's kind of like an alloy, and that helps it last longer, and it's not like really easily malleable. Like pure gold is like not as, it can not necessarily tarnish, but it can get like damaged, or you can see like scratches a lot easier and stuff. So that's why people normally alloy a lot of metals, and it can discolor. Yeah, the color changes over time, but it shouldn't tarnish. So exactly what I was saying, usually silver, palladium, copper, zinc is used to mix with the gold. So this is why these brands, I don't like, what are they? I just want to know what exactly they've made the bracelet with. Because why is it tarnishing? Like, what is in there? That's what I want to know. Honestly, that's what I'm really curious about. Anyway, let's look at the next update video from the creator.
First off, I just want to apologize. It took a little longer for me to post this video. I had plans yesterday after I went to the jewelry store. I had dinner to go to. I didn't have time to edit and upload the video. But anyways, we're here today. I tested the bracelet yesterday. We went to the jewelry store. I'm going to share the results in the next clip. But I do want to mention before I share the results that I think it's crazy that I'm even going out of my way. I'm spending more money out of my own pocket to test this, to see if this is real or fake. Like, that is crazy because I purchased this at Van Cleef.
To be fair, yes, she's, spending her own money to test the metal, but you are making money from it because your videos are going viral. But yeah, I get it. You shouldn't be spending more money testing things. It should just be what they say it is, 18 karat gold. It shouldn't be tarnishing and all that sort of stuff. But let's see what the results of the test were.
And it's like, why did it have to get to the point where I'm actually questioning if this is real or fake? Like, that's just wild. Anyways, I want to show you what the bracelet looks like up close. This is what it looks like up close. And it's not even zooming in on the bracelet. And I feel like you could still see like that tarnish.
Yeah,
like
I can
that
see
little
it.
ring around it. But I do want to mention it looks a lot better from before. But like, there's like a little shadow over the ring. And I haven't worn this ever since Sunday. Ever since picking this up from getting professionally polished, I have not worn.
Luke is saying she's dragging it. I don't blame her. She might as well, build her audience and use Van Cleef. It's their fault for having bad customer service. They gave her the ability to create a whole TikTok series about this and make tons of money at their expense.
Worn it. This is how they gave it to me, looking like.
So this is the XRF machine. So when it tests your piece, it'll tell us exactly what percentage of each alloy is in your piece.
Here we go.
So I'm gonna test that portion first then.
Okay, and it's gonna be exact. It's gonna show exactly.
Yes. So you can even see the piece here. I don't have the camera there.
Oh my god, there's a camera.
Yeah, it does come up as 18 karat, which is very good. This is gonna be AU is the gold, so that's the percentage of the gold in there. And then you have a little bit of silver, a little bit of copper in there.
Okay, so it's not gold plated.
Nope, not gold plated. Yeah, gold plate not detected. It is flip it over
Solid
for
gold.
you.
Okay.
And then we'll test the other side. So AU is going to be gold.
Okay.
On the periodic table, right? And then AG, or on the metal table. And then AG is going to be the silver. Copper is going to be CU.
Okay.
So those are all your percentages in there.
And that one is, on that side, is 18.07 carats of gold. Gold plate, not.
Interesting. So it's the right percentage of gold. So why is it still tarnishing? Wait, what is the, let me look. I can't really see the percentages close. She should have like zoomed in on it.
Not detected.
Wait, 12.3% copper.
But the real question here is that this is really gold. It's not gold plated. Why is my bracelet tarnishing? I'm not spraying any chemicals or anything on this bracelet. And I'm not gonna lie, I do use perfume. I'm not spraying it on the bracelet, but maybe perfume has gotten on.
Perfume's not the issue. I think this clearly is like a very, it's a singular incident, it seems, because no one else has really had this issue. Only she has. But what Van Cleef and Arpels should have done, and the main issue is the customer service, because if they were smart, they would have just taken the bracelet, clearly seeing the tarnish, like you can clearly see it, and just given her a new one, and then they can figure it out themselves so that they don't have this issue again. They're really dumb, like I went to the Celine factory recently and I was speaking to the Celine team, and they told me that they take a lot of feedback. So every Monday they have like a team meeting where they take the feedback from the stores and try to see how they can improve the products that they're making. So I thought every brand does this. Surely, as a brand, you should be very interested if your, stuff is 18 karat gold, but it's still tarnishing. Like, you should actually want to test it and see why exactly that's happening so it doesn't happen again. But instead of doing that, All they wanted to do was gaslight her. All they were interested in was just not helping. That's the main issue here.
On it. Maybe I put lotion on it. Who knows? I never took this bracelet off ever since getting it because I purchased this thinking that it's really gold. It's very durable. I didn't have to worry about it tarnishing, and it has. I take good care of my pieces. I had these for over 5 years. I'm just not sure why my bracelet is tarnishing. I have friends with this bracelet. I have 4 friends that I know of with this bracelet. There was no tarnish going.
Yeah, kind of what guys are saying. Alloys aren't created equal. Something in the process clearly went wrong. Something happened in the process of mixing the two metals together and must have been a mistake in the production process. Which is obviously, it has to be one of these issues, right? Because it's the right percentage of gold. You know, it's an alloy. So I think what it is just they need to figure it out. But they did a masterclass in what you shouldn't do from a customer service standpoint and try to put it on her. Like, you're a customer, you're clearly seeing a tarnish for whatever reason it's happened. They're supposed to want to help, and they're like, yeah, it's the reflection, it's the angle, it's your skin. It's, did you wear lotion? Did you spray perfume? Just any reason to try and gaslight her into, into not helping her at all.
Going on with their bracelets. They tell me that they wear their bracelets all the time. They never take it off. They wear perfume. They wear body lotion. They go inside the pool, the jacuzzi, the freaking beach. This never tarnished for them, but for me, mine has tarnished. And just the customer service, and now them telling me that if it's me spraying perfume and lotion and everything, it's going to tarnish. I don't want this piece anymore. I purchased this thinking that it would not tarnish because it's gold, but it's tarnishing. Also, when I voiced my concerns that it is tarnishing, they want nothing to do with it. They don't even want to help me fix this. And I have to be scared now of it tarnishing.
Exactly what she said. She purchased it because it's gold, so she didn't expect it to tarnish. So for it to tarnish in 2 months, that's going to leave a bad taste in her mouth. And you also need to remember that from a customer standpoint, people always remember bad experiences over positive ones. So they could have a million positive experiences, but the one bad experience they are going to remember more strongly than all the million combined. That's just how it goes. So you never want customers to leave with a bad experience because they're going to carry that with them everywhere they go. They're going to tell people, don't buy from that brand. They don't do good customer service. And they've absolutely buggered the whole thing. Just kind of what someone was saying here. Why don't they just replace it? Eventually, they did end up offering a refund, but it's quite meaningless because they only offered a refund after all these videos went viral. So it doesn't really mean much, to be honest. Luke said I would have taken that refund and left the boutique smiling. I've had other businesses do that to me before. It sucks because you buy a product because you like it. So then you're out of the money and the product that you actually wanted. Yeah, it's like a double whammy. You don't have the product that you are dreaming of having, and then you don't have the money either. It's insane. Do you think it's something about the lack of experience from Van Cleef and these sorts of things? To be honest, I'd have to ask one of my friends that I know buys from Van Cleef. I don't really know too much about Van Cleef as a brand because I don't care about the brand. I think branded jewelry to me is a weird concept. I've always found it weird. If I was someone that was rich, I would just wear custom jewelry everywhere. I wouldn't see the need to buy, jewelry from a brand like Cartier or Van Cleef. That's just me personally. So that's why I'm not interested in the brand. Personally, I would never ever buy from the brand unless I was buying something for like a partner or something, but not for myself. So yeah, I wouldn't know on what their experience level is, what the normal customer service is like. But if we're going by this whole situation, clearly there's a lack of training. There must be a massive lack of training. I bet that manager was instructed by Van Cleef to deflect any type of customer dissatisfaction, regardless of the validity. Part of her job was to make the problems go away. But problems don't go away, though. That's one of the things that they teach you in customer service. You have to fix the problem. The whole point of customer service is you find a solution to the customer's issue. There has to be like a resolution. Otherwise, they're always going to have an issue. You can't just make problems magically go away. That's terrible training if that's how they're trained. Horrible training.
It's crazy how that video about my Van Cleef experience blew up. It went viral, especially on TikTok. On TikTok, that one video is at like 5.8 million views. Like, it's insane because I keep on saying this too, that I never wanted to post that video. I only posted it just to bring awareness to others. Also,
No, it's good that you posted it. Expose these brands. We need to know what brands have terrible customer service and also don't do good quality control and have issues with their products. I think we need to know. So I think it was good that you posted it.
So I waited 2 days, almost 2 days, until posting that video. It happened on Sunday. I waited Sunday. I posted it on Monday night because I didn't get any response from them. When I texted the sales associate after that experience, I texted my sales associate saying that I didn't like how your sales representative treated you, how that lady was treating me, and that I could still see the discoloration. I just don't like how I was treated, and I'm gonna voice my concerns on social media so other people don't feel the same exact way. They read it. I could see that he read it, and then 1 minute later, the sales representative that I thought was a sales representative, she called me to let me know that she's the manager of the store. What she first said was, "Hi, Monica. I just want to clear things up. I'm the manager of the store." And I was thinking, when I was listening to the voicemail, I was thinking, this is so petty. You're literally calling me just to let me know that you're the manager of the store. And then she goes on to say that, we just want to make you happy. So whatever it is that you want us to do, if you want us to send it out for repair again, we can do that. Or if you want to get an estimate of how much the motel.
Isn't that insane? So initially, they told her that you have to either pay to get it polished, to send it to us to get it repolished, which obviously won't work because it didn't work the first time. So why would it work the second time? Or to get that specific part of the bracelet replaced. All of a sudden, now that the video has gone viral, now, oh, we're happy to replace it for you if you want. We can give you a refund. You can replace it. Why did they wait to have their reputation go into the gutter before they did the customer service that they should have done initially? Why did they wait? Why?
Cost to replace it? We can also do that. So let us know what you want to do. Have a great day. Bye.
Hi, Monica. This is Kathy Van Cleef and Arpels. You were just in our boutique a little while ago. Gordon showed me the message, and I just wanted to kind of clear up something. I'm the manager of the store.
She called me just to let me know that she's the manager of the store, because everything else that she said in the message, she just told it to me like 2 minutes ago when I was in store in person. So I was thinking that was just so petty of her. She was being really rude. I wasn't.
Here comes the damage control, guys. Let's see how good the damage control of Van Cleef is. Let's rate their damage control out of 10. Let's see.
Even everything too that I filmed such a small little clip of her being rude, because it's very awkward to just film somebody in person, like in store. So I didn't film the part where she was trying to get me out of the store. She was literally telling me to come back on another day when my sales associate was working, because that male was not my sales associate. I had another lady that sold me the bracelet, but nobody was in store at the time too, mind you. Like we were the only customers, me and my husband, and she wanted me to come back on another day. And I was thinking, why don't we just fix this right now, since, I'm picking up my bracelet right now. I could still see that there's something wrong. Like, I don't want to keep on waiting. Let's just fix it right now. The power of social media. I feel like it's really important for you as a person to speak up, whether it's negative or if it's a very positive experience. You should always just talk about it, because you never know if other people would experience or has experienced the same things before. I'm so thankful that you guys cared to watch my video, because if it wasn't for you guys watching my videos, commenting, sharing, liking the videos, then none of this would have been done. And I feel like Van Cleef would not have noticed my video. It's crazy how that video about my Van Cleef experience.
So, damage control, you have the manager complaining about, her face being in the video, not really concerned about making sure that they come to a resolution as quickly as possible so that they lose points for that. Them waiting until a video went viral before they decided to do the customer service, they lose points. I'll give their damage control like 2 out of 10. I know later they gave her a book, which is even worse. They lost points for that. So I'll give their damage control 2 out of 10. The book really made it lose points. The book was insane, but we'll get to the book part. Okay, we're gonna skip that.
The Van Cleef bracelet update featuring my foster kittens. And by the way, I just got off the phone with corporate of Van Cleef, and I just feel like after that phone call, it just literally puts my mind into why I'm never going to purchase from them ever again, and why I don't support this brand. When I got off the phone call,
so they've lost more points, guys. She got off the phone with corporate, and whatever they said was so bad that it just made her not want to buy from the brand even more. Luke, stop complaining about her dragging it. Of course, I feel like every content creator would do this, because obviously you make money from creating more videos and more videos and doing more updates, and people are interested in following it. So I don't blame her. From one content creator to another, make your money. I'm sure through this series, she made way more money than the cost of that Van Cleef bracelet. I can assure you that.
The phone call was that they're very sorry about what happened with my piece and that she wanted to offer me a replacement for my bracelet, but I let her know that I don't even want the bracelet anymore. After all of this that happened, when I look at the bracelet, all I think about is the terrible customer service. If my bracelet's gonna tarnish, that they're not gonna do anything about it. And yeah, so she's offering me a refund, which they normally don't offer refunds to their clients, but for me, they're making an exception, which I'm super thankful for. They're gonna have somebody come pick up the bracelet from me so I don't have to go in store to drop it off. You're not going to see an apology from Van Cleef talking about.
So they've changed their speech. Before they're like, well, you can spend $150 to send it to us and to get it fixed. Now they're going to come and collect it. Interesting.
Their piece is tarnishing. I'm not going to get an apology from Kathy, the manager from the store, for treating me that way. The lady on the phone was very nice, though. She was apologetic. She was sorry that my experience was like this, but I also wrote down how they're going to move forward from this. You know, this is such a huge thing that's happening right now with my bracelet tarnishing. On their social media, their page is talking about tarnishing bracelets. How are you guys going to address it? They're not addressing it. She told me specifically that Van Cleef is very discreet.
For 6K, I'm dragging it.
They're going to look at it internally and they're going to move forward, but they're not going to address it on social media. Also, with the whole manager situation, all I want is for them to retrain her so she's a little bit better with her customer service. I didn't say to fire her. I want her just to get retrained, but she said that they're going to look at it internally and move forward from that. Hopefully she gets retrained. That's the update, is that they're going to pick up my bracelet soon and I'm just going to get a refund. So after all of this, my video had to blow up for me to get a refund. I just wish though that they did offer some kind of a solution where, you know, they changed their policy. If people were to have experienced tarnishing or anything wrong with the bracelet, I just wish that they would address it better, because now people realize how Van Cleef is and how they operate. The Van Cleef.
Okay, we didn't need the cat at the end, but okay. Giving the cat some screen time, I feel it. The big issue is what is in the comments here, right? Imagine if somebody saved up for that bracelet and they had no social media presence, they wouldn't be this nice. And that really is the main problem with all of this. And that's why people won't buy from Van Cleef again, because if they don't have an audience, their voice is not going to be heard, and it's not going to be dealt with. They're going to be gaslit, and they're going to be told that what they're seeing, they are not seeing. That's exactly what's going to happen. Packing her bracelet. I love, so she's smart, right? Let me tell you why she's really intelligent. So if I was dragging this, I would have, and by the way, I don't have any issues with her dragging it. I know Luke does, but I don't, because I'm a content creator, so I understand. I would have put me packing the bracelet and then the update all in one video, but she's smart because she's done the packing of the video as a separate video. That's going to get all the views and potentially make money, and then she's doing the next, so she's made it in more, she's done more steps than I would have done. So she's smart. Make your money. I'm all in support of her making her money back and recouping that Van Cleef money by tarnishing Van Cleef's brand, rightfully so also. So I think that's fair play, that's fair game.
I mean, I'm honestly just as shocked as you guys are. I honestly was not expecting any gifts, but here we are. We have a bag of, I don't know what it is, but it's really heavy. I also have this beautiful orchid plant. There's the card. Maybe we have an apology letter from Kathy in this card. So you guys are seeing this first. Dear Monica, thank you for sharing your experience with us. We genuinely appreciate the valuable feedback you've provided about our brand. Please accept our sincerest apologies, and we look forward to welcome you again in the future. Sincerely, Nancy, which is the regional director, the one that I was on the phone call with, Kathy, and the Ala Moana team. That's where I purchased this bracelet on a Van Cleef location.
No pun intended, by the way. Tarnishing their brand. No pun intended.
We only have one location in Hawaii, and it's at Ala Moana Shopping Center. So that was very thoughtful that Nancy wrote this card to me. I know it's Nancy that wrote this card too, because it said Nancy's name first. She's a regional director. She's the one that called me on the phone, and she apologized on behalf of Kathy. So thank you.
So just in case you guys don't know what's going on, so they came and collected the bracelet because she said she didn't want, you know, a replacement, because anytime she looks at the bracelet, she'll just think of, you know, the bad customer service she received and all those things. So She wanted a full refund, which they sent her. And then upon collecting her bracelet, they left her with 2 gifts. So it's very important to see the bunch of baloney that they gave her. Let's just have a look.
Thank you so much, Nancy, for sending this over. Okay, so let's open it up and see what it is. This is beautiful packaging. They literally...
So guys, they gave her a book and it has the history of Van Cleef and Arpels and it talks about how their products are made, right? So first of all, if they had 2 brain cells to rub together, they would have known that, okay, this person spent quite a lot of money. Why don't we gift her something that costs more than what she spent? Just out of let's start going into damage control mode. Let's give her something expensive, first of all. But what they did instead was give her a book and tell her about the process. So it's almost like they're trying to save face by saying that, oh, we have a process, we have this heritage. But it's like, you have all this heritage, but at the end of the day, the bracelet was still tarnished. None of that changes the fact that the bracelet was tarnished. So to kind of insult someone's intelligence by giving them a book about Van Cleef and Arpels is probably, I can't think of a worse gift to give someone in this situation. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Luke is saying it was a petty move. I don't think they were being petty. I think you're giving them too much credit. I just think sometimes a lot of people that work in these corporate spaces, I don't know how they grow up, but some of them are quite disconnected from reality. So they struggle to understand. They struggle to think like a normal person would think, or they struggle to put themselves in the mind of a normal person to understand what the best way to do damage control is, which is why they always do it wrong. Even though like every time we react to these videos, it's always common sense that, oh my God, I wouldn't do it that way. I'll do it this way. But it doesn't occur to these kind of people. So I don't think it was being petty. I just think they don't know, to be honest. I think they just aren't aware.
This is honestly so funny. Now that I'm reading it, I don't know if they're sending this over to me to try to educate me on their Van Cleef pieces, because when I look at it, it's basically like the process, I think, of Van Cleef and how they make their jewelry. It literally shows you the process of how to craft the freaking motif. Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm honestly just as shocked.
So yeah, that's where the story ends, guys. But yeah, I just wanted to cover it because I think it's absolutely ridiculous and it's literally a masterclass in bad PR. Yeah, exactly. They gifted propaganda about the brand. Yes, an ad as a gift. Oh my gosh, this is an absolute masterclass in terrible PR. This is probably the worst PR I've seen in years. This is so bad. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. I'm just still laughing at this whole situation. It's so ridiculous. I can't believe this is real life. This YouTube channel runs on your support. If you want to support the channel, you can subscribe to my Patreon. You'll gain access to exclusive content that includes everything from my Patreon podcast, where I give a behind-the-scenes insight into the fashion industry, as well as a fashion book club, where I review my favorite fashion books. You can also check out my fashion ebook, which highlights the best fashion journalists to follow, definitions of common fashion terminology, and how to determine what a good source of fashion information is. The links to everything are in the description below.